Hey guys, welcome back. This is Felix, and welcome back to another Yu-Gi-Oh! Deck profile video. This time I'm going to be bringing you guys a Dark Synchro deck profile. And the Dark Synchro has been one of my favorite decks of all time. Ever since it came out, I love the playstyle, I love synchros, and I love the artwork. And so, this is my take on it. Ever since the Banless hit and Level Leader got banned, as well as Dandelion, people have been struggling to come up with a pure variant of this Dark Synchro deck. And so this is sort of my take on it and what I've done with it. But this deck is heavily focused on bringing out Shooting Quasar Dragon as well as Cosmic Blazar Dragon. So I'm going to be explaining my card choices as I go along the video and the reason why I picked them, as well as maybe some other possible cards you can implement into this deck. So yeah, this is my take on it. Feel free to leave a comment down below, let me know what you think, or even leave suggestions in the comments. But yeah, without further ado guys, let's get right into the deck profile. Alright, so to start off, I run 3 Armageddon Knights, and this is standard in every Dark Synchro deck. Whenever he's normal or special summon, you get to send a dark monster from your deck to the graveyard, which basically could be Destiny Hero Malicious, or it could be Destrudo, the Lost Dragon's version. And yeah, Armageddon Knight is a very, very awesome combo starter for this deck. He is basically what's getting you started on your Shooting Quasar combo. And if you guys don't know how to do that combo, I'll actually leave a link to the video I made a couple of weeks ago covering that combo in depth. So I'm going to leave a link to that video at the end of this video. Check that out, guys. But Armageddon Knight, whenever you summon him, he can throw stuff to the graveyard like Plague Spirit or Zombie, or Blackwing Sephiroth's Zeolite, or even I think there's another Blackwing, it's called Blackwing Steam the Cloak. And those are all very, very cool options you can send to the graveyard, and he can basically give you like a Coral Dragon and stuff like that. But yeah, in order to summon him out, you can also consider using Summoner Monk to be able to summon him out. Like I say, if you want to play Summoner Monk in this deck, you'll be able to ditch a spell card and bring this guy out and then get his effect off that way. But a very, very strong card overall, so I run 3 of him in the deck. Next, we've got 3 Destiny Hero Malicious. And the reason why I run him at 3 is just because he's another monster. For that Quasar combo I do in the other video, you need like an extra monster in between to be able to link summon your Deco Talker after you summon your Noble Knight Link monster. And so I use him. You can run him at 2 if you want, but I like 3. It's a very, very nice number, and you can throw him with Armageddon Knight to the graveyard. Next, I run 3 Destrudo, the Lost Dragon version. Now this guy is one of your better tuner monsters in the deck. Basically, if you have a level 7 or lower monster on the field, you can select that monster and then special summon this guy from your hand or graveyard by halving your life points. And it seems like a lot, but if you happen to get a combo off, it's not that big of a price to pay. But yeah, you summon him, and then he gets his level reduced by the level of that monster you had on the field. So basically what that means, let's say you have an Armageddon Knight, and then you summon it, you get to send a dark monster, you send him, and then you can special summon him right away, and this is basically an instant Black Rose Dragon. It's really, really strong, and you can do a lot of things with this guy. The only thing is he goes back to the deck once he leaves the field after he's summoned by that effect, but that's not much of a price. And he's also very crucial for your Quasar play. Next, I run 3 copies of Doppelwarrior, and Doppelwarrior is a really, 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 really strong warrior monster. He can help you with getting Trishula out, he can help you with getting Axel Synchron out, and he's just another monster to be able to summon. Basically, his effect is he can special summon himself from your hand whenever you bring a monster back from your graveyard. And then when he's used as a Synchro summon, you can special summon 2 level 1 tokens to your side of the field. Very, very strong. And so if you happen to summon a Dark Synchron, and then you can bring a level 1 tuner monster from your graveyard out, let's say, and then summon him, you basically got like a Trishula, or maybe some other sort of level 8 Synchro monster like a Cyframe Lord Omega and stuff like that. But yeah, I run him at 3. Next, I run 2 Dark Synchrons, and he as a normal summon, he's very, very strong as a standalone because he can give you stuff like TJ Hyper Librarian, Ally of Justice Catastor, even Junk Warrior. So he's very, very versatile, and he's also searchable by tuning. So whenever you normal summon him, you get to special summon a level 2 or lower monster from your graveyard, but their effects are negated. So basically, if you summon Doppelwarrior from your graveyard, you would still get to get the 2 tokens from Doppelwarrior because his effects activate in the graveyard. So Dark Synchron's pretty nifty. Next, I play 2 copies of Quick Draw Synchron. Now, Quick Draw Synchron can be kind of confusing for some people, but his effect is if you have it in your hand, you can send a monster from your hand to the graveyard and then special summon this card. But you can't use it for a synchro summon except for the synchro summon of a monster that lists a synchron. And that's kind of confusing, but I'll let you know what that means. So basically, if you have a Junk Destroyer or something like that, Junk Destroyer lists Junk Synchron as a card material. So Quick Draw Synchron will be able to take the place of that monster. However, if you're using Quick Draw Synchron, if you were to use it for something like a Stardust Dragon, you won't be able to summon it because he's not being used to substitute anything, which is kind of a downfall. However, the reason why I play this in the deck is because he can get rid of the cards you don't want that are in your hand. So let's say, since you do run 3 copies of Destiny Hero Malicious in this deck, you would theoretically be able to discard Destiny Hero Malicious, an additional copy, and then summon this guy from your hand. That way, you already have Malicious in your graveyard, and you can activate his effect from the graveyard. And then you can use this as a link material for your Quasar play. Or you can throw stuff to the graveyard like your Glow Up Bulb or your Jet Synchron and stuff like that. And he's very, very useful. So I run him at 2, and he's also searchable by tuning. So very, very strong. Next, for the level 1s, I run 1 Unknown Synchron. Basically what he does is you can special summon him from your hand if you control no monsters and your opponent controls a monster. Basically he's like a Cyber Dragon, but he's a tuner. And he is sort of like Jet Synchron. The reason why I don't run another copy of Jet Synchron is because I sort of like the versatility. Unknown Synchron is a dark monster, and so you run 3 Allure of Darkness in this deck. So he helps you out with the consistency when you have Allure of Darknesses in your hand. So you can just banish him, as well as he's also searchable with tuning. But you could definitely play this at 2, or you can just play that at 2. You can play around with these numbers, guys, and sort of see what works best for you. So yeah, next is Jet Synchron. Like I said, as long as you have a level 1 Synchron tuner monster, you'll be good because they're part of your Quasar play. And I've been talking about a lot about that Quasar play, but I'll probably show it at the end of the video so you guys don't get confused. Jet Synchron's really, really good. If he's in the graveyard, you can send a card from your hand to the graveyard to special summon him. So he's a free level 1 basically, and he helps out a lot. Next, Glow Up Bulb. Very, very strong level 1 tuner. You can send the top card of your deck to the graveyard and then special summon to your side of the field. And basically he's a must-have for any Synchron deck. Next, I run 1 Synchron Resonator. And Synchron Resonator also helps out with consistency. If you happen to have a Synchro monster, you can special summon this guy from your hand to your side of the field. So he just keeps my plays going. He's sort of a combo extender, and so I like him because of that. But yeah, since you run only 4 level 1 monsters, you can also run something like We're Thou in this deck. That'd be able to help you out to add your level 1 monsters. If you need to go for that Quasar play, you can add Synchron Resonator, stuff like that. So yeah, that's it for the monsters, guys. So let me just go ahead and put that to the side. Next, for the spell lineup, we run 3 copies of Tuning. Now, Tuning is a awesome card, and it helps out with consistency. Basically, what it does is you can add a Synchron monster from your deck to your hand, but then you have to discard the top card of your deck to the graveyard, which is not a huge deal at all, because if you happen to discard anything like Destiny Here Malicious or Destrudo, you'll be good to go. But yeah, with Tuning, you can add tons of targets. You got Junk Synchron, Quick Draw Synchron, Unknown Synchron, or even Jet Synchron. So it helps you out. If you happen to have a Malicious, you can just add Quick Draw Synchron to be able to discard that to the graveyard. Next, we run 3 Allure of Darkness, and this is also to help out with consistency. What this does is it allows you to draw 2 cards, and then you have to banish 1 dark monster from your hand. And you've got plenty of dark targets in this deck. You've got the Armageddon Knights, the Synchron Resonators, Unknown Synchron, like I said, the Doppelwarriors, and the Strudos, and you run multiple copies of each one of those targets. So you shouldn't have anything to worry about. Allure of Darkness is just really, really good, and it adds a lot of consistency to the deck. So I run it at 3. Next, I run 3 copies of Scapegoat. And Scapegoat basically, if I don't open the necessary pieces for Quasar in the first turn, you can set this and then wait for your opponent to go. And at the end of their turn, you can actually just activate it and get summon 4 tokens and go for a Mystis Radiant play. So basically that opens up 2 extra Link Monster Zones. And really, really useful. I run it at 3. But you can definitely feel free to play around with these numbers. Next, for the 1-ofs, I play 1 Mystical Space Typhoon because of spell and trap removal. Now this deck is really vulnerable to spell and trap cards to back row. So I run it at 1, but you can definitely cite this out. Next, Monster Reborn, because it brings back a monster from either graveyard. So it's a very, very good combo extender, and it's just a 1-off, I would say, on every Synchro deck. Next, play 1 Reinforcement of the Army. This allows you to add a level 4 or lower warrior monster from your deck to your hand, and this could be Junk Synchron, Armageddon Knight, and anything like that. Doppelwarrior to be able to extend your combos or start them. I run 1 Upstart Goblin, just to be able to go through the deck a little bit quicker. It allows you to draw a card. Foolish Burial, because it allows you to send 1 monster from your deck to the graveyard. So it is a very, very nice card. You can send Glow Bulb, or you can send your Malicious to start your combos. I run 1 copy of Soul Charge. Soul Charge is an incredible card. Basically what you do is you can revive any amount of monsters from your graveyard and then pay 1,000 life points for each one of those monsters that you revived. And it just seems like a lot, but basically Soul Charge, this could basically give you a Quasar by itself. And it can bring in tons of other stuffs and extend your combos basically. So really nice 1-of. And for the last 1-of, I play a 1-for-1. 1-for-1 because it's really useful. You can discard stuff like the Glow Bulb or Jet Synchron, Destiny Here Malicious, and then special summon a level 1 tuner from your deck. And that could be a Glow Bulb as well. So really, really nice to be able to initiate combos. And then lastly, for the last 3 spells, I run 3 equipped spell cards. Now, these could be any equipped spell cards, because you're gonna need at least 3, well, at least 2, but I like to run 3 just in case. For Isolde, which is a Noble Knight monster, which we use for the Quasar combo. So basically, to activate our effect, we need at least 2 equipped spell cards on our deck, in our deck with different names. And so I run 3. It doesn't matter which ones you run, but this is what I'm going with. So Different Dimension, Reincarnation allows you to discard a card from your hand and then special summon a banished monster. So basically, this could be a Destiny Here Malicious or a Jet Synchron because they will be banished most of the time, or something you banish with Allure of Darkness, right? I'm considering putting that card at 2 and taking this thing out. This was just the replacement because I didn't have another copy of that, but this is definitely going to be replaced by Different Dimensional Reincarnation. And then Moon Mirror Shield. Basically, you equip it to a monster, and if it battles, your monster's attack becomes equal to the opponent monster's attack or defense, whichever is highest, plus 100 points. So it allows you to get over any monster, but the real reason why I have it is because if it's sent to the graveyard after it's on the field, you get to pay 500 and then put it either on the top or the bottom of your deck. And let's say you happen to open up this and another equip spell card, and at that point your Shooting Quasar combo does not work. So you would be able to technically recycle this by just equipping it to a monster and then having it go to the graveyard, because then you pay 500 and it goes back into the deck. And now you have enough equip spells to actually follow with your combo. But yeah, this could be, these equip spell cards can be any equip spell cards you desire or you feel comfortable with. Some other options would be like Overdone Burial. I know that's a real popular equip spell card that just came out and it's really, really good. Or Autonomous Action Unit. I think that also allows you to revive a monster from your graveyard by paying 1,500 life points, I believe. But it's also a really, really good option. And I run 3, but you can definitely feel free to run more than 3 equipped spell cards. You can run 4, you can run 5, or even just 2 if you really want to. But I run this amount because getting off that Isolde combo is really, really crucial for this Shooting Quasar deck. And then lastly, I run 1 Solemn Warning. And the reason why I run a Solemn Warning is just because normal summon, or just a lot of summons in general, and be able to stop a summon from your opponent is very, very crucial in today's game, I believe. So, if your opponent is playing Pendulums, you get to Solemn Warning their Metal Foes. If they're playing Trickstar, you get to Solemn Warning their normal summon, and that basically ends their turn. Or maybe Magical Musketeers, that basically ends their turn as well, because they can't do anything from that point onwards. And so, I think any type of Solemn is very, very strong in the deck. This could be Solemn Judgment, Solemn Warning, Solemn Strike, or even something like Torrential Tribute to be able to stop your opponent's summons. But yeah, you can feel free to play around with this number, with these cards, and tell me what you guys think. Moving on to the extra deck, I run 1 copy of Mrs. Radiant. This is for the Scapegoats. Basically, it just needs 2 Earth monsters, and then your Scapegoats are Earth monsters. So you can use 2, summon this guy, and then you have 2 extra monster zones to be able to use when you Synchro summon. Next, I run Isolde, 2 Tales of the Noble Knights. Now, this is basically the key card of the deck. This is what allows Quasar to happen. And basically, its effect is if it is Link summoned, you get to add a warrior monster from your deck to your hand. And its other effect is you can send equipped spell cards from your deck to the graveyard to be able to summon a monster from your deck, a warrior from your deck, whose level equals the amount of equipped spell cards you sent from your deck to the graveyard. So, in this case, we're going to be sending 2 to be able to summon Doppelwarrior for our combo. And so, this also needs 2 warrior monsters, which is really easy to make. If you have Junk Synchron Doppelwarrior or Armageddon Knight and Malicious, very, very easy to get into and very, very strong. You can definitely run multiples of this card if you want. Next, I run a Decode Talker, just because it's a very, very strong Link monster, and because it allows you to get your combo off. And then moving on to the Synchros, I run 1 Celestial Double Star Shaman, because he allows you to bring back a level 2 warrior monster from your graveyard whenever he's Synchro summoned, and he allows you to extend your plays for Quasar. Formula Synchron, he allows you to draw a card, and he's a really, really nice level 2 tuner monster. And next, I run a Phone Pulse Dragon, because he's a level 4 tuner monster. And this could be any level 4 tuner monster. I know there's a Crystron level 4 tuner that also allows you to do a Quasar play, but I use this guy just because I didn't have the Crystron, but it could be any one you prefer. Next, I run 1 Axel Synchron, and he's very, very crucial in this deck. He allows you to be able to send a Synchron monster from your deck to the graveyard, and then you can increase or decrease his levels by the level of the Synchron monster. And that could be Junk Synchron, Quick Draw Synchron, or even Jet Synchron. And then you can decrease or increase his levels. So yeah, he helps you out with your combo, and he's just a really, really strong card. Next, I run 1 TG Hyper Librarian because he allows you to draw every time you Synchro. He gives you a lot of draw power. You can definitely play 2 TG Hyper Librarians, but I only play one because I didn't have the other one. Next is Armades, the Keeper of Boundaries. This would be TG Hyper Librarian, but this is also a level 5, a strong level 5 Synchro. And honestly, this could be any level 5 Synchro for the Quasar play. Next, I run 1 Black Rose Dragon because he allows me to destroy the whole board. Let's say my opponent has a very, very strong board. They go first and they set up turn 1. This would be a way for me to get rid of that board easily. So I run 1 Black Rose Dragon because he's very easy to make in this deck with Armageddon Knight and then Destrudo. Next, moving on to the level 8 Synchros, I run 1 Psyframe Lord Omega. He's also a very, very strong level 8 Synchro monster, and you can do him very easy in this deck with just Junk Synchron and then Doppelwarrior. Next, Scarlet Red Dragon Archfiend. He's sort of like a dark hole because he allows you to destroy all special summon monsters on the field with 3000 attack or less, and then inflict 500 damage to your opponent for each monster that was destroyed. So not only is he going to clean the board out, but he's also going to put some pressure on your opponent, and he's a huge beat stick. Next, for the level 9, just the 1 Trishula. He's very, very standard in Synchro decks as well as Doppelwarrior decks. But yeah, he's pretty self-explanatory. Whenever he's summoned, he allows you to banish a card from your opponent's field, hand, and graveyard. So it's a very, very strong. And then lastly, I run the man himself, Shooting Quasar Dragon, and then Shooting Star Dragon. And the reason why I do Shooting Quasar Dragon, now this could be any Axel Synchron. So this could be Cosmic Blazar Dragon, this guy right here. This could be the Sifr Dragon, but I run Shooting Quasar because it's a very, very strong truth that it can be kaiju'd at any time. So just in case it does get kaiju'd, I get to summon the Shooting Star Dragon for my extra deck for free. So it's kind of a layer of defense in a sense. But otherwise, you can play any copy of it. I just like Shooting Star Dragon, Shooting Quasar Dragon. But yeah, that's it for the extra deck. Alright guys, so here I'm back. Told you guys I'm gonna go over real quick through that Quasar combo I've been talking about through the deck profile, just to give you guys a sense of what it is and what it feels like and how it goes. But if you guys want a more in-depth combo, I'm definitely gonna leave a link to that video I did a couple of weeks ago in the description. Feel free to check that out. Yeah, so here's how it goes. So basically you're gonna need an Armageddon Knight in your hand, Destiny Hero Malicious, and then a 1-for-1. And it doesn't necessarily need to be a 1-for-1, but it needs to be at least a level 1 tuner access twice, I believe. So here's how it goes. And I'll also make another video with a whole bunch of other combos for this deck and some more ideas and thoughts like that, and more in-depth explanations in the future. But for now, here's how the combo goes. Basically, you're gonna you're gonna want to summon your Armageddon Knight, and basically you're gonna send from your deck to the graveyard Destrudo, right? And then once you do that, you're going to activate Destrudo's effect, cutting your life points in half, selecting Armageddon Knight, and then summoning Destrudo. So Destrudo is going to become a level 3 monster at this point. And from here, you're going to want to activate your 1-for-1 by discarding your Destiny Hero Malicious to the graveyard. This is going to allow you to summon level 1 tuner, preferably Glow Up Bulb, because it's going to make the combo a lot more easy. So Glow Up Bulb to the furthest zone in the left. That way it doesn't disrupt you with the rest of your combos. After you do that, you're going to go ahead and activate the effect of Destiny Hero Malicious in your graveyard. You're going to banish him. to be able to summon another copy of him from your deck. And at this point, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to link summon with Armageddon and Destiny Hero Malicious your Isolde. And now when she is summoned, she allows you to add a warrior monster from your deck to your hand. And this could be any warrior monster except Doppelwarrior, because if you do add Doppelwarrior, you won't be able to summon it later because of her restrictions. So you can set up for next turn. This could be Armageddon Knight, Dark Synchron, anything like that. So just add a warrior monster, right? And then when she's summoned, you're gonna go ahead and activate her effect, which allows you to send equipped spell cards from your deck to the graveyard to be able to summon a warrior whose level equals to the number of equipped spell cards you sent. So let's go ahead and send any 2 equipped spell cards, which in turn is gonna allow you to summon Doppelwarrior. Now at this point, Destrudo is level 3, and then you just summon Doppelwarrior. And you're just gonna you're just gonna synchro summon with those 2. Destrudo is gonna go to the bottom of the deck for Axel Synchron right here. And Doppelwarrior is gonna give you 2 tokens. Right, you're just gonna summon them right there. Then you're gonna go ahead and activate Axel Synchron's effect. You're gonna send a Synchro monster from your deck to the graveyard, preferably level 1, Jet Synchron, to decrease his levels by 1. So he's gonna be level 4. And then once that happens, you're gonna want to Synchro again into TG Hyper Librarian over here. You're gonna go ahead and activate the effect of the Jet Synchron you just pitched to discard a card from your hand. Now if you don't have anything else, you can just discard that warrior you added. But if you have something else, you don't have to. Discard Armageddon Knight, special summon Jet Synchron. And then you're going to want to activate the effect of Destiny Hero Malicious in your graveyard. So you can banish it, special summon the 3rd copy of Destiny Hero Malicious to a zone to be able to summon the Decode Talker. Now quick note here, this does not need to be Destiny Hero Malicious. You can also do this with Jet Synchron or the Glow Bulb, since any of them can bring themselves back. But go ahead and link summon again for your Decode Talker, and you're going to want to summon it in your other zone to free up some space. Once you do that, you're going to Synchro summon level 2, bringing your Double Star Shaman, which is going to allow you to bring a level 2 monster from your graveyard. And the one you're going to bring is Doppelwarrior. This is going to trigger Hyper Librarian's effect, which allows you to draw a card. Right, so this is one more card. From here, Synchro summon again, level 4. I'm going to summon Photon Pulse Dragon. Right, this is another draw. And then Doppelwarrior is going to give you 2 more tokens. Now, Synchro one more time, level 5. This could be any level 5. Again, it could be another TJ Hyper Librarian or any other level 5. You draw 1 more card. From here, you're just going to Synchro with the remaining level 1 tuner and the token, which is going to give you that Formula Synchron. And if that was another TJ Hyper Librarian, you would draw 3 cards, but since it's not, you just draw True. So it's going to give you 2 extra cards right here. And then from here, you're just going to Synchro summon into your Shooting Quasar Dragon, just like that. But yeah, guys, and you managed to draw 5 cards, and it was a pretty consistent combo. So I do cover this combo a lot more in depth in that other video I was talking to you about. But yeah, if you guys have any comments, any suggestions, anything like that, feel free to leave it in the comments down below. And yeah, otherwise, thank you for watching and have a great day.